Okay, so the next thing we're looking at is graphing in circles, or graphing circles, not in circles. And we've got two standard equations for circles. The first one being this one here, the x squared plus y squared equals the radius squared. Now this standard graph here has the center of the circle at the origin, so at the coordinate point 0, 0. And this is really easy to graph because we can just work out our 4 points from what we're given. And our 4 points we will graph on our circle with are going to be the radius and 0, 0 and the radius, negative radius and 0, and 0 and the negative radius. So if you'd seen the PowerPoint, this is all in there in more detail. So if you haven't gone and looked through the PowerPoint, can you please do so to make sure you can follow what I'm talking about? So the first thing we'll do is an example using this standard equation. Okay, so the first example, we'll do x squared plus y squared equals 16. Now, this is in that first standard form, so the center of our circle is going to be at 0, 0. Now, our radius here is 4, because we could rewrite this equation as x squared plus y squared is equal to 4 squared. So it's in that standard circle formula form. Now once we've got our center and our radius, we just need to work out what our 4 points are to graph. So they will be 0 and 4, 4 and 0, 0, negative 4, and negative 4 and 0. So once we've got all this information here will allow us to plot a graph of our circle. We've got some graph paper there. So we need to draw an axis like we did with the parabola. And this is always a bit tricky to keep this nice and straight. Oh, that's terrible. There. There. X and Y. And each mark here will be worth 1. Negative 1, etc. One, 2, 3, 4. Negative 5. So change color. We have our first point, the origin point at 0, 0. We've got a point at 0, 4, a point at 4, 0, 0, negative 4, and 4, negative 4, 0. So if you notice, all these points are the radius distance from the origin. Okay, that's what we worked out there. Once we've got our points, we can try to draw a nice curve. You wouldn't actually believe that I practiced this today. And we should have some resemblance of a circle. And we're done. So we can just label our circle with our equation. X squared plus y squared equals 16, and our origin there of 0, 0. And we're graphed. So the next example we'll use the other form of the equation. Now I'm going to go back and just chat about that one first. So the second standard form we've got down here. Now this is a circle that has been transformed along the axis with a new centre at HK. Now to work out our 4 points that we need to graph with, we're going to have H and K minus the radius, H and K plus the radius, H plus the radius, K, and H minus the radius, K. So if we've got x minus 2 all squared plus y plus 3 all squared equals, let's say, 4. Okay, so our first steps are, first of all, we're going to identify our radius, which here is 4. Sorry, it's not 4. It's the square root of 4, which is 2. Our h here is 2, not negative 2. Okay, when we've got the equation, the h and k values are the opposite signs to our equation, if you noticed in the PowerPoint. Okay. And here, so our k is going to be negative 3. So with our 3 values, we can find our points. So the first point is the radius is h and k plus the radius, which is equal to 2. Now k is negative 3 plus 2 becomes negative 1. And we've got h k minus the radius, which is still 2. Now we've got k, which was negative 3 minus 2 becomes negative 5. We had h plus the radius, k. So if h is 2, 2 plus 2 is 4, and k being negative 3. And the last one, h minus the radius, k, which is equal to 2, and we're taking away 2, so it's going to be 0, and negative 3. Okay, so we've got our 4 points that we can use to plot on our graph. And if you notice, I've just changed my scaling a bit, my axes, because we don't need any of the positive y values or the negative x values. So I've just changed it so we can draw our circle a bit easier. Negative 1, negative 2, negative 3, 4, negative 6 here. So drawing our circle, our origin was going to be at, which I didn't write down here. So our origin is at 2, negative 3. So that's here. Now first point is at 2, negative 1. Then we've got 2, negative 5. 4, negative 3. And 0, negative 3. So you'll notice our radius, so from our centre out to any point, is a length of 2. So our coordinates are correct. I'm just going to try to draw a circle here. And we're going to label it x minus 2 squared plus y plus 3 squared equals 4. The origin at 2, negative 3. So that's our circle graphed.